just a joke, just a joke.
Thank you. You nestle in her favorite corner of the library, hidden amidst the cozy embrace of well-worn bookshelves. This library had become her safe place. She discovered this library a year ago, and it had since become her refuge for the harshness of the world outside. The surroundings were old and filled with history, shelves upon shelves of feathered books. The air was filled with comforting scent of aging paper and polished woods, brought her a sense of peace that she couldn't find anywhere else. Especially on chilly days like these, the warmth of the library seemed to envelop her. She had discovered it by chance when she was bored and wandering home from school one day. She is self-proclaimed bookworm, and this library was her heaven. She flipped the pages of a novel engrossed in the world of the verse. The door of the library swung open with a soft chime from the bell above. Not many people visit this library, that's why she loved it here. She watched as a figure, their back turned to her, engaged in a conversation with Mr. Jones, whom she had known for a year. The man was dressed casually, wearing a loose black shirt and trousers. She couldn't help but steal a brief glance. He looked oddly familiar, then quickly averted her gaze, not wanting to appear nosy or intrusive. She immersed herself in pages once more. Minute passed, and she felt a strange sensation washed over her. It was as if a pair of eyes were fixated on her, a feeling too unsettling to ignore. She looked up, expecting to see the stranger, but to her surprise, he was nowhere to be found. Had he already left? She hadn't noticed. Was she so engrossed in her book that she had missed the bell? She shrugged it off, not paying much attention, but then her gaze fell upon a black-clad figure again. He sat down on the small sofa and took his book from the table before opening it. She absorbed his every movement as he leaned back on the sofa and finally removed his mask. That's when the realization hit her and her eyes widened. It was her university professor, Jungkook. The very same Professor June whose lecture she had attended for a year now. How had she didn't notice him? It was him earlier. Their eyes met, and time seemed to momentarily stand still as his dark, cold eyes locked on her with an intensity that shivered down her spine, and she quickly averted her gaze. It was only for a second, and they had made eye contact, yet it felt like chill of a cold winter. Night was wrapping around her, even in the warmth of the library. What should I do? Should I greet him, or should I act like I didn't recognize him? Wait, he probably don't know me and so many students. Slowly she turned her back towards him, only to find that he had immersed himself in his book. Seemingly oblivious to her presence, a sigh of relief escaped her lips. He didn't recognize you, she assured herself, letting out a breath she had not realized she was holding. She settled back into her seat in the quiet library, unaware of the black, cold pair of eyes continued to watch her from afar, their gaze unwavering. Do you think she will open it? Oh, she definitely will. You know she can't resist retouching her makeup 1,000 times a day. Yoon and Maya huddled together in one of the bathroom stalls, trying to suppress their laughter. It was almost the time for the next lecture, but today they had something special planned for the girls who had made their lives miserable. Jessica and her group of bullies had always targeted and making their life difficult for no apparent reason. But today was different. Today they had decided to turn the tables. Suddenly they heard blood-curdling scream pierce the air. It was followed by frantic shrieks, and Yun and Maya had to bite their lips to keep from laughing out loud. Did you hear that? That's Jessica and her minion, alright? They knew they had succeeded in their prank, and it was immensely satisfying. The bathroom door swung open, then closed again, as the bullies rushed out in search of the unseen cockroach terrorizing Jessica. Finally, unable to contain their laughter, they emerged from the stall, their laughter filling the bathroom. This should teach her a good lesson. and she said, picking up her toy cockroach as they high-fived before leaving the bathroom together. Heading towards their class, time was ticking and they were already running out. Oh shoot, I forgot my bag in there. Go hurry up or we will be late for Mr. June lecture. Maya nodded and rushed back into the bathroom to retrieve her bag. Yoon continued down the hallway but suddenly collided with a solid chest. The person, book and papers scattered onto the floor. She stumbled back, her face pale with shock as she realized she is face to face with none other than Professor June. His sharp features were stoic and his dark eyes seemed to bore into her. I'm so sorry, sir. I was not looking where I was going. She frantically bowed and bent down to collect his fallen papers and books, her heart pounding in her chest. Jungkook remained silent, his demeanor cold and dominant, adding to her unease. Why are you still out here? Are you planning to bunk, Miss Yoon? His authoritative tone sent a jolt of surprise through her. Albert regretted this, and she couldn't help but curse herself to ignore his presence last night. She dared to look up, meeting his eyes, and paused slightly in respect before offering him the collected papers. No, sir, I didn't plan on bunking. I was waiting for my friend. Her finger brushed against his for the briefest moment as he took the paper and book out of her hand, sending a shiver down her spine. His hands were cold as ice, and the sensation of touching them was like reaching for an icy surface. She quickly withdrew her hand, her skin tingling from the unexpected chill. You should be in your class, Shenyun. You are already 3 minutes late. What do you mean I'm 3 minutes late? If I'm late, then he's too right. But who am I to question? I'm sorry, sir. I was waiting for my friend. Jungkook's voice cut her off, his tone leaving no room for argument. In the class right now. She realized she had little choice but to obey. She quickly nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes, sir. With that, she turned and hurried towards the class, and she knew Maya will get angry because she left her there alone. Inside in Mr. June's office, her pen twirling absent-mindedly between her fingers. Her gaze was fixed on the front of the classroom, but her mind was a million miles away. She was supposed to be paying attention to the lecture, but all she could think was about Maya. She should be back by now. And what happened? Is she in trouble? Should I check on her? How would I take permission from him? He's already in bad mood. Mr. June, this stern, often intimidating professor, was not someone you casually approached during class. He don't like discipline in his class other than the work, and you didn't want to risk getting on his bad side by disturbing the class for a personal matter. What happened to you? You are looking lost in thoughts. Her seatmate asked, concerned, and Yoon gave him a small smile. No, I'm okay. Where's Maya? She didn't come today. I don't understand. I'm worried about her. She said she would be back in a few seconds, but she's still out there. Maybe she just wanted to bunk class. That's what I'm worried about. She never bunked any Miss Yoon-san. Before she could finish her sentence, Jungkook's stern voice cut through the class, silencing her. Are your gossips more important than the lecture? In frozen her seat, she felt a collective gaze of her classmate on her, and it was the last thing she wanted to be called out in class. And swallowed hard, her voice trembling slightly as she replied, No, Professor Jungkook. No, tell us what you guys were talking about, he demanded, his voice holding a note of impatience. Maybe it's really important? He crossed his arms, a clear sign that he expected an answer. Yoon acutely aware that the tone when he was pissed. I'm sorry for the distraction. It won't happen again. It better not, he warned. Focus on the lecture and save the personal matter for later. Her face flushed with embarrassment as she turned her attention back to the lecture. As the lecture finally came to an end, Yoon wasted no time making her way out. Her face was downcast and feeling of something being terribly wrong consumed her. She quickened her pace, her footsteps echoing in the corridor as she headed towards the bathroom, where Maya said she would be. When she pushed open the bathroom door, her voice raised her. Her bag lay abandoned on the floor, her contents hidden appropriately. Panic surged through her veins as she scanned the small bathroom, realizing that Maya was nowhere to be seen. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. bathroom. She took the stairs at a time, rushing past classroom, desperately searching for any signs of her friends. The world seemed to blur around her as she reached the upper floor. And then her heart sank like a hailstorm when she peered into one of the classrooms there. On the floor lay Maya almost lifeless, being body heavy uncontrollably as she knelt beside her, tears filling her eyes. Maya opened her eyes, she pleaded, her voice quavering with fear. She gently shook Maya's shoulders. She checked her nails and was breathing so slowly.
My darling, rose and fire. You're a liar. You say, my darling, rose and fire. And fire. You say, my darling, rose and fire. You're a liar. Shivers my spine, so cold, so swimming in my rose, swimming in my rivers. I'm trying to let go. Hands go cold.
And her world began to blur, the room filled with weird noises and frantic muffled yelling. She regained consciousness. A groan escaped her lips as she cursed softly. Her heart throbbed with pounding ache that made her wince. Everything in her surrounding was blurry and disoriented. She blinked as her vision slowly came into focus. Panic surged through her as the realization hit her like a wave. She was in a place she didn't recognize, and the memories of what had led her there flooded back in rush. Fear clouded at her. Question filled her mind. Oh God, did I get kidnapped? Where is Maya? Why am I here? Her trains of thought cut off when the door of the room creaked open, and her anxiety skyrocketed as the figure entered. Her breath caught in her throat when the figure stared directly in her eyes. He had a mask on. His physical, muscular physique was evident even through his clothing, his shoulder and well-defined arms, as he began to approach her. Wait, stop there! Don't come near me! She stammered, her eyes locked onto his masked face. No need to be worried, he said. His voice was surprisingly not harsh. I won't harm you. For now. What did he mean by for now? He placed the food tray in front of her. His aura was cold, making her shiver in her place as he pointed the food, but her eyes remained locked on him. Her mind was racing with questions, and she finally burst them out. Where am I? Where is Maya? How is she? You are in a place where you will be safe for the time being. As for Maya, you don't need to concern yourself. I assure you she is in capable hands. Being straightforward, at least Maya was safe for a week. Was she believing with a stranger who can harm her? For all she knew, he was the one who attacked Maya. You shouldn't think that much. Eat your food. After all, what the hell is he? She looked at the food tray, then her gaze shifted back to the masked figure. Who are you? The figure remained silent for a moment, his masked face unreadable as he stared at her. The second stretched on, and her anxiety intensified, her heart pounding in her chest. Finally, he spoke. For now, who I am is something you don't need to know. Or perhaps you will know when the time comes. He turned to leave, but panic surged through her as she blurted out, I want to go home. The figure halted in his tracks but didn't turn around. Sure, first eat your food. As he opened the door, he paused for a moment before muttering, and be safe. He finally walked out of there, leaving her all unpatterned with her thoughts. Few weeks went smoothly. Maya had completely recovered from her ordeal. When Yun asked her what happened, Maya explained that it was Jessica and her minions who had attacked her. They had somehow discovered the prank that had been played on Jessica, and when Maya had gone to drive her back, they had assaulted her. They were expelled for the swear beating they had given Maya. Yun was aware they should have faced legal consequences for nearly killing someone, but they were wealthy individuals who seemed to escape justice. Everything seems to be going too well in her life. However, she couldn't shake off the memory of the fateful night when she had dinner in that mysterious man's house. It was the last thing she could recall, and when she regained consciousness, she found herself back at her own home, laying in her own bed. She couldn't explain how she got there, and oddly enough, she didn't tell about the accident to anyone, not even Maya. It a part of her a strange desire to meet the mysterious person again. Well, you can say everything was fine, but there was something feeling as though someone was constantly observing her 24/7 at times. she had the air sensation of being followed, and few times she had a glimpse, a shadowy figure, and an unsettling dread loomed over her. But if the person wanted to harm her, he could have done it long ago, right? Or he's waiting for the right moment. When was walking back to her home, it was already night and she was late because of extra class today. An uneasy feeling began to creep over her as she walked, a sensation that she was not alone. Could it be that person? Her heart quickened as she heard footsteps behind her, but something was different this time. It was not just one step of foot. Her grip tightened on her bag strap as she picked up her pace. Are you running away from us, ugly princess? Without thinking, she started to run, her heart pounding in her chest. If she gets caught, she don't know what will happen to her. Come on, you don't run. One of the boys taunted. We just want to have a little fun with you. After that, you're free to go. She heard the running behind her and her heart, and her head started to spin again. Her breath was uneven while she prayed in her heart, please save me, someone. Yun felt the approaching footstep getting dangerously close, and panic washed over her. Was this end of her life? Is this how her life going to get ruined, or is she going to get died tonight? Her breath hitched in sheer panic as a hand suddenly gripped her, and she instinctively closed her eyes, preparing to accept whatever fate awaited her. But then, instead of pain and torment, she felt a strong arm securely wrapping around her, pulling her close. Her head rested against the solid chest, as if feel like her surroundings were spinning wildly, and then suddenly everything stopped. The voices, the footsteps, it all came to a halt. Then slowly opened her eyes, her heart pounding and her breath caught in her throat. A pair of blood-red eyes stared back at her, unrelenting and intense, visible even in the dark, but only his eyes was visible, and darkness concealed the rest of the figure features. I told you to stay safe. What are you? Yun asked softly as he slowly unwrapped his arms around her, praying to walk away, conviction to cover her situation in his mind. She was on a street just a minute ago, but now she had found herself in the middle of the jungle. Now that she ended a great panic pounded her, she quickly grabbed her wrist. Just answer me, who are you? What are you? I can't answer my question right now. Why can't you? Where am I? He also grabbed on just tightly and desperate attempts to stop him. He came to face her abruptly, causing her to plunge at the speed of his moment. He asked many questions.
My darling, in fire. My darling, rose in fire. You're a liar. You say, my darling, rose in fire. In fire. You say, my darling, rose in fire. You're a liar. Shivers my spine, so swimming in my rivers, swimming in the rivers. I'm trying to let go. Hands back on your hands, I'm just a joke, just a joke. Shivers my spine so bad. Swimming in the river stakes too much. I'm trying to let go of us, but the truth is what's real and you want us. My darling, in fire. My darling, rose in fire. You're a liar. You say, my darling, rose in fire. In fire. You say, my darling, rose in fire. You're a liar. Shivers my spine so cold, so swimming in the rivers, swimming in the rivers. I'm trying to let go of us, but the what's real and you want You say I'm craving hope in this darkness. You say I'm just a joke, just a joke. Shivers my spine so bad. Swimming in the river stakes too much. I'm trying to let go of us, but the truth is what's real and you want us. My darling, in fire. My darling, rose in fire. You're